Stick is a new sports comedy starring Owen Wilson as a washed-up golfer who, through mentoring a young phenom, Peter Dagger, begins to get his life back on track. It's by no means an original premise, and Apple TV Plus is already trying to spin the series as the next Ted Lasso, a comparison which could do more harm than good. But that familiar tale proves to be a solid framework for a half-hour dramedy with a talented cast. Its 10-episode season is an enjoyable, almost effortless watch, and even when its story couldn't always deliver, I appreciated what it was going for. In Stick, Wilson plays Price Cahill, a golfer whose professional career went into a tailspin some 20 years ago following a personal tragedy. He sees Santi Wheeler, Dagger, a 17-year-old golf prodigy he plans to coach, as his ticket back into the game, a journey they embark on with his former caddy Mitts, Mark Maron, and Santi's mother Elena, Mariana Trevino. Stick is an uplifting if not entirely original, feel-good sports story. Underwritten characters and overused tropes prevent Stick from reaching its potential. Stick isn't doing anything you haven't seen before, but it does most of it well. The story is largely predictable, but it's the kind of underdog comeback story that works really well in the world of sports. It struggles a bit in balancing the comedy with the more dramatic moments, sometimes leading to wild tonal shifts, but this improves as the season goes on. Unfortunately, the comedy isn't always as funny as it should be, too often mining tired tropes for laughs, and some of the drama remains frustratingly surface level. That said, there are other times when Stick manages to thread the needle and deliver a really charming, uplifting story. This mostly comes from the bond that grows between Price and Santi, but many of its other plots are emotional and engaging as well, and one, in particular, is absolutely gut-wrenching. Stick has a lot to enjoy, which is why it's disappointing when characters are underdeveloped or a joke is dated, robbing the series of its full potential. Stick gives Owen Wilson a perfect role, and then surrounds him with a strong supporting cast. Wilson's performance as Price is a large part of Stick's charm. The role feels as if it was written for him, perfectly tailored to his brand of affable loser. But it's also an evolution, allowing Wilson some meaty dramatic material to work with alongside the snark. His best scenes come opposite Dagger Santi, with their generational divide providing the humor and their genuine need for each other delivering the tug-at-the-heartstrings drama. Dagger shows promise in his role, but it's also a tad underwritten, and he can only bring so much depth to it. Maron is well typecast as the grouchy caddy, and he has several great scenes with Trevino's Elena, who shines in a role that could have easily been forgettable. The two have great chemistry, and there's an almost sitcom quality to their interactions. A few episodes in, Lily Kay joins as the uber-progressive, gender-fluid Zero. She's excellent in the role, but her character is frustratingly more stereotyped than person. This lessens, thankfully, as the season goes on, but it's one of the more egregious examples of Stick's writing feeling lazy. Judy Greer's turn as Price's ex-wife Amberlynn is fun, but she's underused, forced to make the most of a character that's given little to do. Meanwhile, Timothy Olyphant has a standout performance as a former rival of Price's that leaves an impression despite the little screen time. The comparisons being made between this show and other Apple TV Plus offerings, namely, Ted Lasso, but also Shrinking, are a little unfair because, judged on its own merits, Stick is a very good series. But its faults, however minor, might be enough to discourage viewers from sticking with it, especially in this competitive streaming landscape. I'm hopeful that won't be the case because, as a whole, the series is worth your time.